daily, and they are a product of today's world.
What's that last part mean?
The world is filled with other characters, just like the confused we know. So what I do know is that truth overcomes confusion and deception, but one must be willing to accept the truth beyond what one already thinks. So, Paul, can you open your mind to the present moment?
Yes.
Help me better understand what is available, because I would really love to discuss ideas different than what has been brought to me.
I don't know what that means. You're basically asking me to tell you what you want and need in life, and then if I do, you're going to tell me I'm bad for it.
If I may mediate, what would those new things look like, Jack?
Well, I realized I was being kind of vague. I was opening the door for something, and I saw. So how about this? I think the last time, Flow State, that you and I were on little Pimpy Boy's channel, he was demanding of you.
He wants an apology
and all of this other shit. And I tried letting Paul know just what you're complaining about was you, Paul. So why
I do appreciate that.
Why don't you lead the way, Paul? Show Taylor how to do what you expected.
Again, we're leveling and we're making false equalizations and equivocations. They're not the same.
Different? What is different?
What is different is some of us have a proven understanding for the 1,000th time that is repeatable, discernible, demonstrable, explainable, definable.
You repeat yourself.
And based in results.
And some
other
of us
folks are saying things
Paul,
based on what they want and don't want and can't prove anything, but rather prove to the opposite what they're saying to be true, and then won't take accountability. That's not me. I can explain if you'd like, but as soon as
Paul, you don't listen.
Hold on, Jack. I want to hear him play this out, because
you want to hear. Oh, I'm sorry.
You keep saying that, but you can't control yourself and your reactionism to whatever I say, which is true. You keep saying you're sorry and you're going to let other people take control, but you can't control yourself.
Hello. Paul, why don't you take a breath?
Can we go ahead and get back on how we're not equal?
If Jack can control his feelings and reactivities to the truth he doesn't like.
Stop antagonizing Jack so you can get kicked off.
Thank you.
It's so easy to control Jack from the inside out. He's so easily manipulatable.
With me too, fool.
It's not easy.
You know what? I don't even want to hear the rest of his bullshit. And since he doesn't want to actually cooperate, fuck Paul.
He's playing. I think he wants to get kicked out. He's playing you. The best thing you could do is bring him back in and just let it bounce.
He doesn't shut up.
Oh, that's true.
You know that. He doesn't shut up. And then he'll go on and on and on with narratives and then completely obfuscate, misdirect from the conversation. He, in his mind, is convinced he's better than everybody. Nobody knows anything but Paul.
You guys have the most dysfunctional, not sexual, but still gay relationship. I'm telling you.
Trying to figure out, what do I do with this? This is fucking bitter toxicity. He's verbally, mentally, emotionally abusive, not just to me. I can only imagine what Jennifer's got to put.
You guys can't stay away from each other. You keep breaking up and getting back together and breaking up. Is the sex that good?
Please stop. Please stop. I started the stream today and he chose to pop up. He has been a part of my experience. Dude, I've been saying this since I've been online, these characters of Paul Unslaved, Margot Davy, Snafu, Tommy, so many of them, they represent the world we're living in.
I don't think that they do at all. They don't represent shit except for themselves.
Nope. Paul is an unsuccessful version of Andrew Tate. Paul is an unsuccessful version of many of those. He wants to promote the capitalists, the ones with the results.
I think the rest of the world would deny their representation.
Tell you what, Paul's also just like a lot of the bitter talking heads we see on TV. These people who call themselves truthers, talking about what they're doing.
I want Mitch to represent me in the world at large.
I'm hoping to find someone who's willing to try and be a hero in my journey.
Jack,
I'll keep looking.
You're kind of old and hairy to be a damsel in distress.
I'm not. Here's actually what I think. God rewards those who do good. I've been doing good for a long fucking time. And you know what I realized? I prayed earlier this morning. I mean, bitter bitch Paul is in the back bragging about his bank account. Bitter bitch Paul, that fits.
Well,
here, let me finish the thought.
Yeah.
God has already blessed me. You don't know my experience. Nobody's actually really tried to understand how I feel. And that's a sign of today's society. People don't care about how I feel because they don't care about how they feel. Paul doesn't care about how he feels.
Okay.
He's convinced himself to be this bitter bitch online because people have paid him to do it.
I think that he cares about how he feels a lot.
He's a liar.
Well, I don't deny that, but he definitely cares about how he feels.
No, he doesn't care for himself. He said his behavior is making him feel bad. He's not feeling healthy. He's lying to himself. Oh, yeah. We've got my first all-star. Margot showed up.
Oh my God. Can you bring everybody on stage right now just so we can sort of bask in the insanity for a minute?
No, Paul left.
Imagine that. You guys can't just swallow, or toughen up long enough to stay on either of y'all's panels for even a moment.
Well, I lose patience of his bitterness. My life is worth more than wasting time enabling his bitterness and his arguments.
I have a question.
Yes, you with the boobs in the front row.
Jack, you just said that you have been doing good. Can you highlight some of the good that you have done recently, like in the last 3 weeks?
Overruled.
Why?
I just wanted to say that.
Oh.
What was the context you're asking me to develop? I said I was doing good. What, and you want me to demonstrate what to you?
Well, I got a notification that my name was brought up, so I always check in when I hear my name was brought up. And
you didn't show up at my panel last night when Noelle was screeching for you.
So Jack, I popped on to see how everything was going for you, and then I heard you say that Polly had done no good, but you have been doing good, and I haven't been around lately. And so I was just asking you to highlight the 3 top things good that you've done recently.
I don't
Did I
know what
explain
you
that well?
approve of.
He provides this excellent panel every day.
Here, yeah, I'm living my life, Margot, and there's plenty of good.
He's coined a lot of phrases that all of us use all the time in our regular lives that nobody knows what we're talking about. When I say praise God in real life, people think I'm actually religious. They don't even get the reference.
I'm asking a legit question, Jack. What good things have you done? You claim that you've done good things. I'm just wondering. I haven't been around lately. I'm curious.
Why do I have to answer that? What
What
are you going to better understand?
Well, you claim that you've been doing good. I'm
okay,
wondering.
Margot, right. Tell you what, Margot.
Yes.
I've been doing a lot. Okay.
What?
Margot, I'm not focused in the past. Hold on. Should I go check my journal so I can remember what the fuck I was doing? I live in now and I focus on the future. I'm not carrying around the memories that you want me to recall at this instant moment.
Well, if you're going to claim you've done good,
hey, Margot, can you shut up?
What good you've done.
Margot, you can shut up.
Mitch, is that ribeye?
Welcome, Denizen. How are you?
Long time no see, Denizen.
I'm scared now.
Yeah, just tiptoe lightly around.
Oh, sincerely, you have nothing to fear, but this
just don't disagree.
Margot, tell you what, I'll point out the opportunity I see here again. Margot has been a public opposition of me for many years.
Are you deflecting from the question, Jack?
I have been seeking resolve with this lady.
Resolve now. Tell me what good you've done. You made the claim, Jack. I'm just asking you to identify the good that you've done.
Margot, your demands of me are your egoic little queenie. You want to control me. And here's the deal, Margot. Your bitterness has been...
What am I bitter about?
I've been asking you to explain
That is
yourself.
The question of the millennium, honestly.
Yeah, you're bitter about being entitled to whatever answer you want. I mean, he doesn't owe you any answer to your question. He didn't make a claim on
the question itself. The question itself is the deflection, Marco. You came up here not to ask him what he's done good, but to declare with the question that he has never done any good. It's the whole point.
Thanks, Denizen. What would I do without you in my life?
Thank you, Denizen. That's accurate. I think
Jack, we're the one that claim you've done good, and now
anybody
you can't back it up.
Anybody with an IQ above room temperature can tell. And so when you come up here and you pretend to be curious,
how would you know, Denizen?
When you come up here,
about a 45 IQ.
That's right. So even a retard can tell. And so when you come up here and you pretend that you have some kind of genuine curiosity, that's gaslighting. It comes across as gaslighting to someone who isn't stupid. And
I love when Jack
it's not impressive.
Me. Okay,
well, Margot, you were being rude.
You guys are all defending a man that claims he's done good but can't back it up with anything.
I didn't defend fuck all.
Congratulations.
Margot,
I didn't defend fuck all. I pointed out what you did. See, that's another deflection, Margot.
You always come up here and have to back Jack up because he has no balls.
Margot, you are a bitter bitch.
I didn't even mention Jack.
This is unbelievable.
No,
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really not.
Well, no, it is unbelievable. She does not see her character. Paul doesn't
the question, Jack.
Margot, I don't answer to you.
Margot, like the first time Margot and I met, I think we proved she does see it.
Here.
I think she admitted to it.
Let me point out what Margot is doing. She did this to me in the past. Long ago, even before the foreclosure or eviction process started, Margot she came up with this imagined idea and she interrogated me repeatedly online. Jack, are you going to go peacefully when the law enforcement come and drag you out of your house? Jack, are you going to go peacefully? And then since I didn't even entertain her,
she was giving you the Trump questioning line.
This bitch is nuts.
This woman.
Hey, I'll take accountability for my words, but I know what I fucking experienced. This bitch is crazy.
That's the first time you've taken accountability for anything.
Boom. Ba-dum-bum. Gotcha, Jack. Take that.
Her denial. She just can't. She's got no self-control. She can't stop herself.
Have you heard the intro song I play? Everyone else is an asshole.
No.
You're not watching enough of my shit then, but it comes to mind.
Well, here, Margot, what Denizen pressed back in what he heard and I heard, in your question, you were coming from the position that you could find no good.
How does a man that barely graduated high school explain anything about psychology or sociology or politics?
Yeah, Goblin.
Brainwash. Duh. And Jack, the answer to your question in your title, man, is it's no excuses. They choose to do these things, unfortunately. The question is why? You know what I mean?
This is, well, you're right. Subconsciously, they're choosing. But what the egoic mind will do, they go through and get into this situation. Margot said she got an excuse that her name came up. So that was her excuse to join and invite herself.
I don't need an excuse. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
And then she imagines a question to press back against any good claims of me. Because
you're the one that said you did good.
Jack said something nice about himself on the internet.
She's got to show that wrong. She
Where's
goes
my
out
keys?
of her way.
And it was easy to do it, Jack.
No, Margot.
You haven't explained what you've done good.
Margot, explain your intentions. Why?
My intention was to find out what good you've done because I haven't been around lately. That was my intention.
Why did you think that's so important?
Because you claimed you'd done good.
And what does that mean to you?
It means that you claim that you've done good, and I'm wondering what you've done.
Why?
I'm curious.
Margot, again, here, your question lacks relevance, and your question reveals your ignorance.
And your attitude. And you're deflecting.
No, Margot, I'm actually explaining. She won't accept any words from me. Will someone else try and help communicate with Margot, please?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what he tells you. You're not going to accept it either way. So
he's not telling me anything.
That's the point. It doesn't matter if he does or he doesn't.
I actually am.
He's not backing up what he said. I mean, if you're going to be on the internet, you're going to have a show.
Margot,
you should be able to back up what you say.
Margot, you are in denial.
About what?
Life.
The cancer you have. Oh.
No, let's not make a joke of this. Margot.
What?
You are in denial.
About what?
About reality, about life.
Actually, I'm doing pretty damn good.
So you claim.
So you claim.
Margot, in my experience.
You live in a house and you never leave. What experience do you have?
See, you are in denial about
what?
Margot,
what?
I'm trying to answer. Shut up.
That was rude.
But your interruptions are rude. Okay? Margot, you have been in denial about me. You said I failed to explain myself. You made the claim that I offered you nothing when you were talking with Mitchell. You said I offered nothing. That is untrue.
I asked you to give me a list of things that you've done
Margot, good. I offered you feedback and explanations of you.
That's a deflection.
Is she accurate?
Yes, you did not answer me when I asked you what good that you claimed you have done. You were the one that said
regardless
you
of
claimed
what
that you've done good things.
he tells you, if you really cared about him doing good, you'd be around seeing for yourself and witnessing and experiencing the good that he's doing. You know,
what good is he doing?
It doesn't matter. You're not going to
Explain
believe him, even if he said.
I'll tell you something. Jack's done good. Jack's taught me a hell of a lot of things in life. How about that, Margo? How about that?
Jack's brought me some peace in the last week.
Same.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you.
Hold on. Whose balls am I supposed to be washing here? I'm sure.
Mine.
Hurry up and wash Shaq's balls before you get kicked.
God damn it, Flo.
No.
Oh, sorry.
So Margo.
Yes.
Other witnesses have found value in me. Is your egoic question answered? Do you accept, or do you want more details?
I think it's wonderful that you've helped out some people that visit.
Okay, so Margo, great. Yes. Now, can the interrogation be done?
Yes.
Okay, because I'd love to talk to you about your behavior, and you keep deflecting back to that thought. Okay, so your question's been answered.
Okay.
And now I'm not deflecting when I am explaining to you what I have been experiencing with you.
I'm not interested
Margo,
in your opinion is of me.
Please, this is your problem, and your problem became mine. When you chose to involve yourself in my life, your problems with me became my problem.
It was actually the other way around, but continue.
That was a deflection.
Thank you.
It was a truthful deflection, but yes, it was a deflection. Thank you, Goblin.
So, Margo.
Yes.
The point is, you have the opportunity to start considering what effects you might have shared, right? You've been blaming me for your opinions and the way you've been treating me.
I'm not blaming you for anything.
You have been for a long time, Margo.
Can you give me some examples, please?
You blame me for your opinion. An example where I have to suffer the consequences for your opinion when you interrogate me to justify how dare you say you've been doing good?
I didn't say that. I said you said you were doing good. Can you please give me some examples? I just asked a clarifying.
Hey, Margo, again, you're deflecting and you're not considering what is being revealed to you through me. You judge the messenger. You've been punishing me for the facts that you learned. Just
punishment
like
is
Paul,
when you take away something from someone. I haven't taken anything.
Margo, you've actively tried to take away the good name. You've actively worked to make sure my family is separated. Did you forget that?
I didn't separate you from your family.
You actively played a part in my life, Margo.
I didn't tell your son you were going to kill his mother.
I didn't. Margo, focus on what I'm saying. Stop deflecting and arguing everything. Fuck, oh dear.
I didn't meet your family until...
I don't give a shit.
Thank you.
She's been a problem in my life. I'm inviting anyone to please help me resolve any of these problems in my life.
She's an energy vampire. She just wants your energy. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
The resolution is in yourself.
Well, this is the life I'm living. I don't really have a choice to run away from the consequences of the people like Margo and Paul and Snafu and all of these others. I might be able to push them away, but I still have to deal with the fucking consequences. And guys, here's something. I know how it sounds. Anyone has the opportunity to investigate my words. I mean, Margo wants to interrogate me, but I claim my life in this situation that I am in today, economically and whatever. I'm not in this life alone. My life was broke. My story is my family was broke up, right? The court systems, the healthcare systems, the union systems, the contract systems, everything failed me. And I'm not complaining. I'm here suggesting to everyone, brothers and sisters, we'll get back to some value maybe. We are here for a greater purpose. This video I dropped earlier, it has some great reminders, real clear perspectives. What life is for, time is sacred. Life is sacred. Every single day we live, we have the opportunities to become. And if we just find time-wasting practices, if we're just going from entertainment to distraction to argument, we're missing out on our life purpose. I found my purpose. My purpose is here. I know it looks similar to many others, but I'm really trying to do something different. Because I believe that when mankind wakes up, and I don't need all these people who've been opposing me, we can leave them in the winds. When we unite with connections, that's all it's going to take. All we got to do is share connections, share ideas together. We all have different relationships. We all know different people. Well, all of these people, assuming they're still alive, we're all part of today. And what we do today will create the future for tomorrow. I don't see any more excuses that can justify these wars to continue. I really don't. And I know the people who oppose me, they sure as hell aren't doing anything to stop the wars. They sure as hell aren't doing anything to confront the oppressive governments and the exploitative corporations. I mean, the entire banking system, it's a conspiracy against the freedom of mankind. We can change it. And I actually believe that's why my life has been the way that it has. So that I could wake up to what is real. And whether I make it to DC or not, there's lots of other people working towards creating a better future. I really am not as focused on numbers for entertainment. I want numbers so that we can share the ideas of creating a better world, a better life. And it truly starts by intention. If we don't have clear intentions for how we for what our directions in life are, we'll find ourselves trapped in these small paradigms. I know I did that for a long time. Margot was part of my small paradigm. She was on the outskirts of it. The people who were like me in the rooms of AA. But I've broken free in my mind. We're all here to lead ourselves and each other to better ways. It's that simple. I mean, I was thinking about this earlier. I have become a man devoted to God. I align with the Bible. I don't hold it to be, controlling document over me and my life. I see it all as guidelines. But the way of Jesus is love. The commandment was love. Love life. Love the life you are living and be with love. Be forgiving. Be generous. Be kind. Be good. It's harder to be miserable than it is to be good.
Can you do all those things to Margot?
I've been trying. She refuses to see the goodness.
Well, you don't need her to do that, though.
No, I don't. But the thing
you
with
could
Margot,
be good to her despite all of her, I would call it abuse.
well, yeah, but I also don't have to allow her into my life.
Well,
and if she can't,
I'm practicing what you preach, Jack. You know me. Divestment is the solution to Margot. You should kick Margot out of your life. Stop wasting time letting her up here. This reconciliation nonsense is a waste of your time, and it's also what it's doing is it's distracting you from the journey you need to take in order to actually become a whole person separate from these excursions. But let's say I'm wrong, and forgiveness and love and peace is the way. You got to practice what you preach. You have to love Margot no matter how bitter she is.
You are right. The thing is, though, okay, so then that brings up a question, and Margot is here. I'll give her credit for that. Thank you for your patience.
You're welcome.
But the question is, if I take my life seriously, and despite my best efforts, I mean, because here's the other part. I've been dealing with Margot pretty much on my own. I've been inviting others. Please help. If it's only me against unreasonable, disagreeable people who are actually diminishing me, distracting from the value I can offer, I guess I got to kick them away. But I'm telling you, for humanity to change, we've got to unite. And I think that's why my story is the way that it is.
May I say something?
Please do.
You take your life very seriously and you are true to yourself. And those are two good things that you have done for yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am hoping that can be seen by others, because Margot, my son doesn't know me like this. And the man he knew, he loved. And I love my son deeply. I still love my friends deeply.
Love flow state deeply.
I've learned to.
Yeah,
but
buddy.
I want flow state deeply.
How deep?
Pause.
I digress. I apologize.
It's okay. It was a good digression.
Well, I know I'm not like others. I mean, I know I'm just like others. I know my experience has been similar to others, but different than others. And I know that when I've been blessed.
You just did both sides of both of those statements.
It is. Things are and are not. And I've been learning to try and address both sides, because both sides want to disagree with me. So things are and are not as they seem. By the narratives and accusations, by the public record, Jack is a failure. Jack's a man, you shouldn't trust him. But I tell you what, I've been living.
You've made some people happy and you have some loyal friends that you do on the internet, you're not a failure. God doesn't make failures, in my opinion.
Well,
drop the bomb.
Okay, well, how does that apply to what you've said about me, what Paul has said about me? Because that contradicts exactly what you've been saying.
I think that it would mean, do you agree that God doesn't make failures? You know it's a trap question, don't you?
Well, God creates perfection. People fail. It's part of life.
That doesn't hold logical water.
But here's the reality. I've been saying the failures I've found, I've learned a lot, but the failure, here's the reality, flow state, kind of getting ahead of myself, but where I'm seeing when another set of eyes sees even that opinion, I present the case that a brand new advocate, a brand new shop steward, had they argued on my defense, I'd have had my job back. But people didn't try to stand up for me. Many stood against me. So all I need is one person to realize, oh shit, maybe I was wrong about Jack. Maybe I can find a way to help the guy. I look forward to that.
I have a question that just made me curious about something. What if everyone came to your aid and you all failed? What if the outcome was exactly the same, even if people came to your aid? Would it matter? What would the difference be?
I wouldn't know, because that didn't happen. I've had people tell me they would try and then they'd go through the motions, but I've had more people, well, as far as I know, Snafu and Margot, people who clearly oppose me, they've had closer connection to my family than anyone who supposedly cares. So I've had opposition make sure to reach out to me, not to help me succeed, but to encourage people to stay away from me. And this is what I don't understand. I failed to create a team. I failed to find people to cooperate. I've been learning and improving on me. I'm not hard to get along with. I'm really not. And actually, if you're present and we stay on topic, we can have some amazing conversations about all sorts of stuff. Every day in life, we get to choose. What do we do? What do we do with what we've learned? Well, I know the mistakes I made raising my son, and as I've heard, he's a father of himself. I know that I've learned a lot, could help a young father. But for whatever reason, there's been an active, I won't say a conspiracy, but there's been active groups trying to oppose me, not just in my family life, but in my career, whether it was at the post office or online. And I'm really wondering, how sick is this society where strangers will come out of the woodwork like that hand banana clown?
It's terminally ill.
Strangers come out of the woodwork to create character assassinations of people they've never met.
You understand how that works, though. That all comes from the inside.
Well, and this is where I see another opportunity for mankind to thrive. When we start compassionately coming together and saying, hey, what you're doing, it's not helpful. It's not healthy. Maybe there's a better way. This world, I saw it happening when I was growing up. The Oprah and Dr. Phil and all these shows, they're conditioning victim mentality into the world where we make excuses. Well, at least I'm not as bad as they are. And then we tell ourselves how good we are being obese.
That seems to be the most successful form of entertainment in the United States. At least when I was growing up.
It was. We were brainwashed. All of us have been affected by this society in different ways. The different ways we've been affected, obviously, it's based on our past experience. There's all sorts of varieties as far as education and real life experiences. Everyone is different. Yet somehow, everything comes together and we live. It's magical. Seriously, it's by God that life happens. And I used to make a lot of excuses to be miserable while life was happening around me. Margot, my son's never known me so joyful, so healthy.
Mm.
You allegedly know people who know people. Anyone. And actually, I don't know if it is and it is not helping me. I mean, I'm whole. I'll share my love with whoever comes into my experience. But I actually think it would help a young man. And I don't know what his family is looking like now, but I know his life could become better. And Margot, you know lots of people in Spokane. I'm still trying to find anyone. Veterans for Peace, I've been emailing them again, trying to get them to talk to me. The local pastor, he was moving, and then the holidays, so I'm wondering how much time do I give before I try again. Margot?
Yes.
I love you, my friend, but you've been wrong about me for a long time. And the thing is I think it's possible that God is using me. It's opened my eyes to help me see how wrong many people don't understand God, not like they claim. And that's been happening to me. And that's the thing. I know I'm just like everybody else, but there's been so many people walking around making claims about me. It's pushed people away, pushed others away. And I think that's what's happened with God.
Jack, can I share this with you real quick?
Wait.
Is it going to be more upbeat? Because this is getting mopey.
I know that God is using you because you've lost everything. And that's what God does when he's putting you on your path. Okay? And another thing is, unfortunately, it goes back to the original sin of pride. And still today, pride is, a real good thing unless you say something that's offensive. You know what I'm saying? So it's still the same. It's still the same sin since the dawn of time, unfortunately.
It's the story of Lucifer. The pride will set us above. We'll see ourselves above others. We'll create these divisions, these competitions, these wars for what? The idea of supremacy. What a waste of time. I've been learning in my life, there is a supreme. It is God. It's God.
What, are you too good for war with the rest of us?
What's that?
You think you're too good to go to war with the rest of us? I just shoved a Pop-Tart mouth.
I'm actually here to lead everyone to peace. Because peace is within me. That was the thumbnail today too. Is if there's to be peace in the world, it must be in the nations. And from the nations in the cities, and from the cities between the neighbors, and from the neighbors in the home.
So you're going to pull some of that peace out of yourself and put it in other people?
That's what I'm trying to do online, to be honest.
Yeah, that is the sexiest thing I've heard you say all day.
I think he says is sexier than hell.
I'll put some of my piece in, Margot.
Anyway, peace is the path. The path to peace is peace. And I found in my life part of our maturity, and I'm guilty, I'm still learning lessons as I say this, but part of our maturity is learning which battles to engage with. And then realizing, is the battle outside or is the battle within? I used to project a lot of my battles onto others. Blame the ex-wife for a long time. And here's the bad thing, Margot, I admit this. Clearly, with my drinking, I had issues of forgiveness. Well, his mother is a very punishing lady as well. And so Dominic grew up with two examples.
Oh my God, Jack, you're trying to kill us with these miserable,
depressing. It's honest though. We were both.
You don't owe me any explanations, Jack. I mean, that's your life. And
I know, but you chose to become a part of my life, and I remember. I trust you are honest.
Is this how you get revenge on Margot? You're gonna make us sit here and listen to you, like, drag us down into depressing stories about your kid?
It's actually hopeful because behind every problem is an opportunity. My life is filled with opportunities.
That's what I said, but they still arrested me for breaking and entering.
You got to abide. You got to abide by others, and that's what I've been learning. Despite the narratives, since 2018, I've been without. I lost my my comfortable income. I've been living authentically, honestly, and
that's overrated.
Independently.
There you go.
Well, I've grown comfortable, and while I still have opportunity,
you look comfortable. Are you wearing pants?
Shorts.
Boxers. Are those boxers?
No, I gave those up. Dude, I started reevaluating my life and look at many of the choices. Did I like underwear, or was that something I was just taught to do? Well, because I was raised with the little briefs and the tight ones, and then I tried the boxers, and then I figured, you know what, I don't like them. More comfortable
ever. Whenever he's on panel, no pants. El Commando from the bottom of the shirt down.
But I haven't. That is true. But I do it mostly so that Margot and I can have our sexy little secret. But I'm trying to understand. You gave up underwear entirely?
Years ago. Yeah. Now there may be occasions.
You ever wear slacks or sweatpants or something like?
Well, I make sure that
you don't wear gym shorts. Oh, how do you?
I make sure they're respectful.
How can the world be led to world peace by somebody who gave up underwear?
It's just another piece to wash. I mean,
there's the truth.
Well, if you wash your body, it doesn't matter.
You didn't give that up too, did you?
I can serve more than I used to. Well, admittedly, I'm living it's not entirely by choice, but my life is pretty much solitude. So I figure, why bother, man?
That's a good question. I don't know. I used to not wear underwear a lot more when I was in college, but it was because I realized that if you don't wear underwear and you take your shirt off or just lift your arms up or something, there's the upper dick V that girls can see, and that's it's kryptonite.
If you don't wear underwear, it's one less thing you forget when you leave in the morning.
Yeah, but you all want to leave. You all want to forget things so that you have a reason to come back.
Sometimes.
Every time with me, Margot.
I know.
Life is peculiar.
Jack, I know I am running a very high risk of pissing you off, but I will repeat something that
rattle that cage.
Be patient.
Was that for me?
Yeah.
He's the most patient. I'm just kidding. He's not.
I actually thought I was patient. My patience has been growing.
My recovery is that, and I never forget when I told my neighbors I was heading to rehab, they're like, you're going to get a whole new life. And I did. And good, bad, and ugly went away. The good that God determined came back and is still coming back. Tomorrow I'm going to Thanksgiving dinner with a friend of mine from elementary school who I pissed off one night drunk, you know. I didn't.
How'd you do it?
How did I piss her off?
Mm-hmm.
I called her white trash at a really nice restaurant.
Did she deserve it?
Digger. No.
Don't lie to me.
No, she didn't deserve it.
Is she kind of white trash?
No, she's really cool. Of course she's really cool. I'm going there for dinner.
Does she have, how many cars does she have on blocks?
I don't know. But Jack, I believe that Dominic will be back in your life and you will know your grandchild, but not, obviously not as quick as you would like. But I believe it's going to happen. I yield.
Thanks for that. I'm feeling like maybe it's time to wrap up.
You're feeling filled up?
I am. I'm hitting the 2-hour mark. It's been, I feel, a more positive stream. I appreciate the way it went.
Well, I'm a little disappointed that how you turned it into like deep and dull things, but it's, as much as I act like it is, it's not really my stream, so it's whatever. Mitch, you put up a terrible fight tonight. You're a pussy. Margo, it's always a pleasure to flirt with you.
Pleasure's mostly mine, I think, but okay. It's an honor to flirt with you, young hot man.
All right. Thank you.
I think the conflict content is